Well, welcome back to Cadillac Coach Works. I'm Ryan. Thank you for joining me back here. We're working on the 1960 Cadillac 390 that's going into the 52. A couple things I wanted to notate and show you guys and give you a little update. Yeah, there's some parts that we have to replace and some things that I found, but still the engine is a great engine. Let me show you what's going on here. So I have her almost torn apart completely. Well, besides, the crank and the rods and the pistons and all that stuff. The heads I was not going to pull off, but I'm just going to, because I do have a full gasket set which comes with head gaskets, so why the hell not, right? Might as well just put new gaskets on it. I pulled the camshaft out to check some things out on it, and I'll show you what I found. The timing chain right here had a lot of slack in it. It was just blah, 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 all over the place, and that's not good at all. The bearings, though, are still good. What I'm working on tonight is reinstalling the baffle and the oil pump and the pickup screen. Just get the bottom end done. Get, this nasty gasket off. But yeah, let me show you what's going on here. Yeah, the place is a mess, but whatever. So here's the lifters that I pulled out. Now, when I pulled the Valley Pan cover off, I discovered that one of the keepers had come out, and the plunger was still in there, but that's not always a good sign. That means some excessive wear and slapping around in there or whatnot. So I could have just put the keeper in, but these are just so grody looking that I decided to take them out. And also they have a teeny bit of wear edge on it, so I actually had to pop these down through the motor. That's another reason why I took the cam off, because if you pull these up and they just don't slide up real nice, and you got to start pulling and wiggling and all that stuff, you're actually going to scratch the bore that these sit in. So you don't want to do that. Another thing that I found is that the rods, if you can see them, there's 3, 4 of them that had some rust on them. All the others are nice and clean. There's no bent ones or anything like that. But that is a sign of condensation, short driving, yada, yada, yada. And there's a little bit on the rockers as well. So these, I ordered new push rods already, so, those are going to go. Now, let's take a look at the cam here. So it doesn't look too bad. I mean, the bearings right here, they're nicely worn. But I did find this. There's a couple that just, I don't like that at all. That's excessive heat, and that's some wear. So there's one here, a little bit on the edge of this one, and then these guys right here. It's just, it's $200. Just replace the damn thing, you know what I mean? So, and make sure you get an American made for that as well. So here are the new lifters. Now, a lot of the ones that I found were from China, and you do not want any wearable parts in your engine made from Chinese steel. You just don't. It's always a headache. These I found were made, or Hensho, in Mexico. So this is still a way better quality product. They use typically American steel. They don't use overseas steel. So these are going to be better parts. You pay just a few bucks more for them, but whatever. Now, you can get American-made ones, but those are astronomically expensive. And I'm just like, this is not a crazy hot rod motor, so whatever. And then in here, I have a new timing set and timing chain, yada, yada, yada. So, but anyways, she's getting cleaned up. And like I said, I'm going to pull these heads off. I got new gaskets for it. Why not just do it? Another thing I did is, and this is a tip, guys, when you're going to tear down your engine and just give it a refresh, new gaskets, whatever, just pull the oil pump, you guys. Just pull it. take it apart, inspect it, make sure it's good, make sure, there's no metal shavings in there and everything spins freely. There's a spring that holds, it's a regulator spring for the oil pump. Check that out, make sure it still has good tension, it's not all crappy. Throw a new cotter pin. Do not reuse cotter pins, guys, okay? You can get new cotter pins for cheap. A lot of people reuse cotter pins. I never do. Just put some new ones on it, because you never know if it's weak from, bending back and forth. You don't know if the guy before you has bent it back and forth like 6,000 times, so it could just break off. And then where it seats on the block, always clean it. This actually has a gasket that goes on it, so obviously be reinstalling the gasket. But make sure you always clean it up and sand it down. I had this and the pickup screen soaking in cleaner for the last day and a half or so, because these pick up a lot of sludge, and you can see that it's still kind of a little bit's coming out. That's mainly diesel fuel right there, because I had it soaking in diesel fuel, because diesel fuel is a lot cheaper than buying 2 jugs of cleaner. But this is nice and clean. There's no crazy crud in it anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready to install that tonight. But yeah, I mean, it's coming along. I would say in about the next maybe a couple weeks or so, I have this all scrubbed down, painted, new gaskets, all that fun stuff, and she'll be almost ready to put in. But I have some stuff that I still need to get rebuilt. Like, I'm rebuilding the starter right here. This looks like it was maybe dropped or something, so that's not good. But this actually looks really clean in here, and this is a really good tall sign of if you have a leaking front transmission pump or a rear main seal. This will be just covered in oil, because this actually sits inside right here. So yeah, that's a good indication. So I'm glad that this thing doesn't have a rear main seal leak. I don't always like pulling the cranks off if I don't have to, because it's just like, if you're gonna do that, why not just put new bearings in it? You know what I mean? And that's just a whole bunch of work I find unnecessary for right now. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is, don't use RTV in the intake runners, you guys. That's just a big no-no. I mean, it's not necessary. Use some good copper spray, anything that just slightly adheres to this. You don't want to use any kind of RTV silicone on the intake. It's not recommended. This can be sucked down into the engine. It can create vacuum leaks down the road if there's a heat fluctuation or any kind of unevenness, because obviously with RTV, it's for oil and coolant, and you can see those leaks. You won't see these leaks, but you'll feel those leaks, if you know what I mean. And then you'll have to go around chasing them. So here's a peek under there. Here's the valley pan. I'm going to continue cleaning this, and probably clean out the bores just a little bit, maybe just with a little brush. But there was no sludge in this engine, and these valves are really clean, really clean. They're all nice and tight. There's no crazy movement. There's no crazy wear on the valve stem. So yeah, but we're getting there, you guys. So I thought I'd just give you a few heads up on these 390s, and this applies to the 331s, 365s. You just, there's a few things that you should do and check out if you're just gonna have the engine out of the car. I mean, it's a gasket set's $150. Reseal the gaskets, because there's no point in cleaning up an engine all beautiful and all nice and then have it leak. And I'm known for my engines, when I redo something, I don't have any oil leaks. My 58 ambulance that I have in the back over here, I did that engine 9 years ago, and she still doesn't leak a drop of oil. So, but anyways, yeah, she's coming along. So anyways, you guys, stay safe, keep working on your projects, get them done. Let's get them back on the road this summer and keep the hobby alive, and get your kids involved. Get your nieces and nephews, anybody younger than you, if they're into Legos, into erector sets, or whatever the hell it is, get them out in the garage and just get their hands dirty. they'll appreciate it in the end, and they'll always have a good skill set. But anyways, I hope you have a great 4th of July. Be safe again, and I will see you soon.